Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. It is Wake Up and Win Monday. What is going on? It is a beautiful Monday morning. Hold on. Okay, all right. Sorry about that noise. So I am near an airport. So you might occasionally hear a plane flying. And for those of you that know me, you understand why you will hear planes, okay, in the background. So I just wanted to get on here real quick and talk about making sure that you are getting in the right environment and staying in the right environment and what that means. It doesn't always mean where you are physically. That is just part of it. So how many of you know what I'm talking about when I'm saying getting in the right environment? I'm talking about getting in the right environment in your mind, getting in the right environment in the language that you speak, getting in the right environment in who you are hanging around, getting in the right environment in your thoughts, in your actions, and physically putting yourself in the right environments. Hey, Travis, what's up, darling? Hey, so let's talk seriously about getting in the right environments and how that honestly can change everything about you. So getting in the right environment in your mind, everyone, it is a battle every day. It is a fight for our thoughts, okay? For our spirit. Like, we honestly have to make sure that the way that we think, the way that we speak to ourselves and to other people, that it is speaking of prosperity. It is positive. It is optimistic, that we are talking about blessings and growth. None of that negativity. I mean, I honestly love my last name because it speaks volumes. Hope. I am truly blessed to have this last name. I know there is no such thing as coincidence or by accident or anything like that. For the reason that I have this last name, I can honestly say I have always been an optimistic person at my core. Like, that is my true nature. Even as a baby, I know my mom said I was a very happy baby. And honestly, like, I don't believe that was by accident. That is honestly by design. Hi, for those of you just joining us. So getting in the right environment is important to make sure that you're around positive people, to make sure that you're feeding your mind with growth and prosperity and abundance and good health and love and joy and peace, okay? Starting out your morning, okay, you can change your environment in your mind before you get into the right environment physically. What do I mean by that? Think about all the people that you've heard, all the successful people who have told you how they came from very humble beginnings. And by humble, I mean, like, some people have told you straight up, like, they grew up poor. All right? They grew up in the projects, or they grew up in shacks, or they grew up on welfare. They grew up not having a lot at all. When I think about people's stories like an Oprah Winfrey, like Sarah Jessica Parker, like Tyler Perry, like Dolly Parton, you can think there's so many others that talk about their humble beginnings and how they really grew up. And, there are a lot of us who didn't grow up in dire straits like some of these people did, right? Like, we actually grew up, in two-parent homes, or we grew up in a single-parent home, middle class, or we grew up in, working class family, always had a home, didn't have to live on, government assistance or anything like that. But yet, we don't have the level of success that these people had who came up with less opportunity than what we had. And just think about that. Like, when you look at your situation and you think, oh my gosh, I'm living paycheck to paycheck, I mean, there are some people who are living check behind a check, or just hoping to get a check, or living on government assistance, for real, but they changed the environment in their mind first. They started reading. They started listening to a mentor or listening to a coach who started speaking life into them, and they started speaking life into themselves. They changed their environment here before they changed their surroundings. Okay? Like, you have to see yourself as a powerful, wealthy, healthy, prosperous, abundant being long before you are there. Like, you have to see yourself in that penthouse, in that mansion, in that condo. You have to see yourself in that Range Rover, in that Rolls Royce, in that Bentley. You have to see yourself traveling the world on a private jet, first class. You have to see yourself at these events, see yourself speaking on those stages. You have to see yourself with this huge team of people whose lives you've transformed. You have to see yourself filling up the auditorium with the people on your team and their family members, their friends. Like, you have to see yourself there in that environment long before you get in that environment. And I'm talking to myself more than I'm talking to any of y'all. Like, seriously. And it's going to take making some serious changes. You hear me, Travis? Yes. Like, it's going to take making some serious changes. It's going to take a total transformation, which may mean stepping back and getting yourself out of other environments. What do I mean by that? You may have to spend less time or no time with certain family members. You may have to spend less time or no time with certain friends. You may have to spend less time or no time with certain coworkers, associates, like people who honestly, and it's no shade to anybody. Here's my thing, what I had to learn, because for me, it was difficult for me to even fathom not speaking or spending as much time with, people in my circle, people who I love, people who I've been around for years and years, right? So I had to think about, okay, well, if I stop hanging out with them, if I stop going to these parties, if I stop going to, brunches and dinners and lunches and events, they're going to think I ain't coming in hot. They're going to think that I'm acting funny, that I'm being different. Oh, that I'm being shady. Can y'all hear me? Okay, just want to make sure I'm back on. Can you hear me? All right. So, are they gonna think that I'm being funny now, that I'm acting different? I had to get out of that mindset and stop worrying about what other people think. Okay? Like, I heard that, like, oh, you haven't been around, you're this, you're that. And I started questioning myself, but it took me having to listen to my mentor, okay, my mentors, people who I respect, people who are successful, who let me know there is nothing wrong with what you're doing. People who love you, care for you, respect you, they will see you leveling up and they will cheer you on. And they won't take it as a slight against them. They will root you on. They will understand, okay? And they'll look at themselves introspectively and think like, okay, if Shay's leveling up, if Shay's doing this, if Shay's making new connections, it's not because she has a problem with me. It's because she's working on herself, and I applaud that. And if they're not doing the same thing, they'll either let you do your thing respectfully, okay, and wish you well, or it'll show them to level up on their own. It'll cause them to look at themselves and be like, well, yo, am I leveling up? Am I making new connections? Am I stepping out of my comfort zone? Am I putting myself in new environments? Like, you honestly cannot worry about what somebody else is doing. And there is a level of peace in your soul, within your spirit, when you know you are doing the best for yourself. You are looking to be the highest version of yourself, and you're not concerned with how anybody else sees that, especially if they're not where you want to be. And that's no shade on anybody else in your life. It's just that, hey, you're on a journey, and you have to make sure that you follow that journey on your own. And listen, it may take 90 days, it may take 3 months, it may take, well, that is 3 months, it may take 6 months, it may take a year. Hell, even if it takes 3 to 5 years, isn't it worth it to be totally different than where you are right now, if where you are right now is not where you see yourself? Okay? So getting in the right environment, what does that look like? That looks like changing your environment in your mind every day. That looks like waking up in the morning and making sure that you're doing 5 important things. Right now, I'm reading The Top 5 Things That Successful People Do Before 8 a.m. by Terry Savelle Ford. Okay? So, I'm almost finished with the book. I love it, but one thing that all these successful people have in common that she discusses in the book is they get up around 5 a.m., 6 a.m. I think 6 a.m. might be the latest that people get up. The earliest is like 3:30 a.m. But these are wealthy, successful people who they not sleeping in. All right? They're not sleeping in. They're getting up before everyone else is up, and there are things that they do. Things like praying, journaling, personal development, exercising, speaking positive affirmations, listening to audiobooks that grow their mind, getting in the Word, okay, reading their Bible, listening to uplifting, empowering music to get their energy flowing. All right. So, changing your environment means changing your thought pattern first, envisioning where you want to be, changing the way that you talk, changing your focus. And yet it takes sacrifice, you guys. Like, it's not going to be pretty and comfortable. Truly changing how you've been for the last several years of your life, your entire life at that, it's gonna require some hard work and self-discipline. It's not supposed to be easy. It can't be. You've been a certain way all your life, and now you're making a total change. It's not going to happen overnight. You have to be consistent. And you have to know that not everybody is going to be rooting for you. Not everybody is going to understand it. Not everybody is going to like it. And that does not matter. All right? I'm not changing to appease anybody but myself and my higher power. Okay? I'm not changing to get anybody else's approval. That's not what this is about. That's not what this is about. And if anybody looks at your change and your leveling up as a threat to them, they are not your friend. Not right now. Seriously. And you gotta question that. If anybody it your change as you're acting funny, you're being shady, you've got to reevaluate where they stand in your life. And you got to put them way, way, way on the back burner. Because maybe it is that they just don't understand right now. But that's not up to you to figure out. Not when you're in grind mode. Not when you've got a mission, a purpose. When you've got to fulfill your destiny. You can't sit back and wait and try to get them to catch up. Baby, they better catch up on their own. Okay? Right now, you have to go for yours. All right. Command the rest of my morning. I just I had meditation this morning with the Girl Hold My Hand community, which was great. I did Wake Up and Win with one of my mentors, Coach Stormy Wellington, who had a powerful message. If you don't know who she is, follow her at Coach Stormy, STORMY. And right now, it's all about leveling up, everyone. It's all about putting ourselves where we see ourselves. And I don't know about you, but I am determined to make sure that I'm going to make that statistic false. What statistic am I talking about? There's a statistic that Black Enterprise quoted a couple of years ago. I think it was maybe about 2 years ago. And it said that if we keep up the current trend, Black wealth, the median income for Black wealth will fall to zero by the year 2053. That's really not that far from now. Okay, this is 2024. 2053 is what, 29 years from now? I mean, I still plan on being here. And I'll be damned if I'm gonna be broke. I'll be damned if I'm still in the same financial position that I am now. I'll be damned. And you should feel that way too. So, not on my watch. Am I letting that happen? If you are interested, if you are concerned at all, if you want to make sure that you and your family are not in that same position, you need to reach out to me. Follow me here on IG at ShayHope_. That's SHAY. I'm also at The Hope Strategist 2019 on IG. I'm on Facebook at Shay Hope and YouTube at The Hope Strategist. So I'm really on all platforms, okay? Like, your girl is out there. But I am looking for motivated people. I'm not looking to motivate anybody. I'm looking for people who are already motivated and who are ready to make a change. And I'm not interested in anybody who's not trying to work. I'm not interested in anybody who wants to say, oh, well, yeah, I mean, that sounds good, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to. How do you know what you want to do? If you are dependent on a job, you really can't afford to turn your nose up at anything. You really can't. If you are living check to check, you really can't afford to turn your nose up at anything. If you are not wealthy already, who are you to see what other people are doing who are having proven success, okay? Like, this is what I had to say to myself, and be like, oh, well, yeah, I don't want to do that. That's one of those things. That's one of those things. A job is one of those things, y'all. And there's nothing wrong with having a job, but is a job going to make you rich? Is a job going to make you wealthy? Is a job going to look out for your family members? All right? Is a job going to take care of all your debt and get you out of debt? Not the way this economy is set up. Not the way it looks right now. All right. So I'm gone. Spend the rest of my Monday morning working on myself. I got to get in my book. I need to read. I haven't read yet, so that's what I'm going to do next. Going to sit by the pool because it's a beautiful day. Okay? It's a beautiful day. All right, everyone. Have a great week. I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace.